In tonight's retro run, we're gonna listen to a new voice shouting about America. It's louder, it's angrier, it ain't subtle, it ain't humble, and it's the voice of John Walker, the Super Patriot. And we're gonna look at his debut in issue 323 in Captain America. And he returned later to do battle with Cap in issue 327, and a mere few issues after that, the beginning of the end for Steve Rogers as Captain America, making room for a new Cap, John Walker. How did we get to that point? And what did it mean to have the title of Captain America in the mid-80s? This is the Pop Culture Cosmonaut, baby. You know how we get down. You know what I'm saying? So you better like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share this. Everybody. Yeah. Now, let's take a look at the cover. But again, covers like this tell you nothing about the interior of the story. Great cover, but hey, we got to get down to business. So we see here on the splash page, the Super Patriot is here. And we see this description of this scene of him leaping off the Statue of Liberty. Since its dedication in 1886, the Statue of Liberty has stood tall in New York Harbor, a gleaming symbol of America's devotion to the cause of freedom. But time and the elements have conspired to rob the grand lady of her gleam. And so for the second time in her 100-year history, she's been closed to the public these past months to undergo restoration. The 4th of July, the scaffolding around her will be down, and in the biggest celebration since the bicentennial, the lady with the torch will be rededicated. Tonight, however, the lady has an uninvited visitor, a red, white, and blue clad figure who's begun his celebration early in traditional 4th of July splendor. And our first look at John Walker, the Super Patriot, leaping from the Statue of Liberty. Mark Gruenwald is the writer of this. Paul Neary penciled it. John Beatty finished it. Yeah, and here we go. What a gorgeous night. Perfect for my grand debut. Glad I chose to touch base with Lady Liberty here. She's so inspiring. Breathtaking even. If I play my cards right, Libby old girl, people are going to be saying the same thing about me. That's John Walker's Custer's Grove, Georgia accent. All right. And these cops below. One got his gun out already. Harold, up there on the scaffolding. I think I see somebody. The guy who set off the fireworks? Yeah, man, that's the splendor we saw on the splash right there, splash page. I think he jumped off the pedestal. And look at him leaping into the air here from this height. He'll be killed. No one could clear the land, make it out to sea. Yeah, no one in the Marvel Universe, although there's hundreds, if not thousands, who could do it. Anyways, yeah, looks like this guy just did. Incredible. Yeah, ho-hum, right? Superheroes everywhere. All right. And at that moment, another red, white, and blue clad figure makes his way toward Manhattan. Like the Statue of Liberty, this man is a symbol of freedom and the American dream. But this symbol is a living, breathing man. His name is Captain America. And look at him, man. He's dropping to sleep. Boy, am I beat. You know, he's nodding off. He's getting them heavy blinks. Get a energy drink, Cap. As soon as I hit the mansion, I'm taking a nice warm. Hey, what's this? 2 bogeys on my tail. After all I've been through in the past 48 hours, I'm in no mood for this. Let's see if I can shake them. Yep. No dice. Whoever these boys are, their flyers are maneuverable as this Avengers Sky Cycle. They're gaining on me. Almost abreast. Why don't you just say almost beside me, Cap? What you thinking about at this time, man? Focus. Yeah, alright. Anyway, okay, boys. Now you got me real curious. And who are you? What do you want of me? What in the... My steering column is locked. Can't budge it without breaking it. Whoever my playmates are, they've got very sophisticated technology. Could be advanced idea mechanics. AIM. or any of the subversive groups they supply. But who would have known where to find me after my stint in Europe? They're banking, descending. Okay, boys, you want to take me down? I'll go, but we're going to do it my way. The craft on my right is only about 15 feet away. This won't be easy, but if I wanted things easy, I wouldn't be Captain America. And he yells out, Geronimo! As he jumps off this sky cycle that never had seat belts even. Alright? And who knows where it's going to fly off to and crash into. Hopefully not a home or a car, Cap. Alright. Oh, I made it. Gotta find there's a handhold. Steady now, get over the plexiglass, and then holy moly! It's him! He's what hit our flyer. Stun him! Well, can't tell who they are yet. Those aren't AIM helmets on their heads. Interceptor 1 to Interceptor 2. What is your status? Do you have them? This fighting American hasn't been had. Bam! Hits him with a shield. This is Captain America. Interceptor 1. You want to talk to me? Start talking. Captain America, sir, we're with S.H.I.E.L.D. We were told to intercept you after you left the Avengers airbase. Why? To debrief you on the ultimatum affair. Yeah, these pilots I overpowered. They're not wearing S.H.I.E.L.D. insignia. Then again, on covert operations, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't advertise itself. Looks like I won't get to the bottom of this unless I cooperate. Where do I land? And then, yep, I used to know all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s secret facilities in the metropolitan area. But what with S.H.I.E.L.D.'s recent reluctance to work with free agents, and my reluctance to compromise my autonomy, I'm no longer in the know. This is not quite as fancy as I'm used to from you boys. Main headquarters is off limits to all outsiders these days, Captain. That's Jasper Sitwell, one of Nick Fury's top men. Guess this matter doesn't warrant Fury himself. Hello, Captain. I hear there was a bit of a problem getting you here. Not much of one. Let me get straight to business. We're here to clarify the relationship between you, a private citizen of the U.S., and our global peacekeeping organization in the recent ultimatum affair. It began 52 hours ago with the hijacking of a London-bound airliner by the anti-nationalist revolutionaries calling themselves Ultimatum. Your participation became incumbent when Ultimatum's leader, Flag Smasher, broadcast his demand that you surrender in return for the release of the captive prisoners and crew. Without consulting us first, you flew across the Atlantic in an Avengers Quinjet and radioed S.H.I.E.L.D., London, for likely sites of Ultimatum's base of operations. You overpowered one of their agents, took his uniform. They supplied you with what turned out to be the right location. Then, finding where the hostages were held, you shot and killed one of the Ultimatum agents to prevent him from slaughtering the hostages. After you saw the passengers to safety, you went back to the Ultimatum base and assisted our European people in the mop-up operation. You then disappeared into the mountains for 22 hours. And when you resurfaced, you brought in Flag Smasher and 3 of his top aides. Alive, I might add. Sounds like you know everything there is to know, Sitwell. What more do you need of me? Haven't I done enough? The question is not what you can do for us, Captain. It's what we can do for you. Have you seen this? In this newspaper article from the Daily Bugle, Captain America guns down terrorist. It seems some of the hostages told the press about how you rescued them. You've created quite a sensation, a veritable international incident. Sure, our European people probably gunned down 50 enemy agents to your 1. The difference is 1, they're sanctioned to do so by agreement with its member countries, and 2, No civilian witnessed them. You, Captain America, are a private citizen who has never seen fit to join our ranks and have your foreign and domestic activities officially sanctioned. What's the bottom line, Sitwell? This. The State Department is up to their necks in bureaucracy trying not to have you extradited to Switzerland, where you'd stand trial for manslaughter. If you hadn't had your own means of transportation, which set down on Swiss soil without authorization, you'd still be there. So what do you want me to do? That's up to you. If you want to get out of this diplomatic dilemma as smoothly and as cleanly as possible, you'll join S.H.I.E.L.D. By fudging the date by a day, your actions would be all officially sanctioned and you'd be off scot-free. Join S.H.I.E.L.D., Cap. Hey, man. Well, I'll have to think about this. And then elsewhere. Nothing like a cool night's swim to invigorate you. Of course, now I'm gonna have to get this costume dry cleaned to get rid of the smell of dead fish. As you see the Statue of Liberty in the background there. And then there's the waiting limo, just as Ethan promised. Hey ho, Thermy baby, did you see it? Couldn't miss it, my boy. We gave the folks down here quite the spectacle. You running into any problems? Well, some guards spotted me, but they couldn't do anything about it. Candy, let's take a spin through Manhattan's seedier neighborhoods and see if we can spot any crimes in progress I can stop. Yes, sir, Super Patriot. And then finally, hey, John, put your mask on. There's an old lady being mugged by a big bruiser. Don't bother to stop, Candy. Such a petty crime isn't glitzy enough. If it won't make the headlines, the Super Patriot isn't interested. And as you see this poster on the wall, Ethan Thurm presents a rally on Wednesday at Central Park. Make Super Patriot the living symbol of America. Oh, man. All right. An hour later, a weary Captain America parks his Skymobile in the garage, changes to his civilian clothes, and enters Avengers Mansion through the back door. As Jarvis here says, Master Steven, is that you? Me all right, Jarvis. What I heard on the news, is it true? By the way, is Jarvis supposed to be British? I might be messing that up. I might need to look him up. Anyways, you mean my shooting someone, Jarvis? Yeah, afraid so. The media seem to have blown it all out of proportion, but it's basically true. And what are you doing up so late? Masters Dane and Hercules are entertaining upstairs tonight. Oh, these messages came to you while you were out. Yeah, thanks. Statue of Liberty people have taken back their invitation to the rededication. Seems I'm now too controversial. And here are offers to appear on 60 Minutes. Meet the Press, McNeil and Lehrer. Yeah, just what I need. I promised Sitwell not to appear in public until I've made my decision whether to join, so I'd... Hey, Steve! Steve, hey, stranger. Herc and I are having a toga party. Want to join us? Oh, they got some chicks all up in there. All right, then. Black Knight, what are you up to, man? Say, is what I heard on the news true? Yes, it is. You must feel horrible. Back when I fought in the Crusades, I must have killed hundreds. But it was like I was possessed. Now when I think about it, I lay awake all night. I'll pass on your party, Dane, alright? Not really in the mood. Talk to you in the morning. Danish, come on back. As the hoes are getting down to business. I mean, that's just what it is. I don't know who these toga chicks are, but they hired some... Well, I'm assuming they're... I don't know who they are. Alright. Good thing my room isn't adjacent to Hercules, or the racket would keep me up all night. There's Bernie's photo. I sure could use someone to talk to, someone to sound out whether I should join S.H.I.E.L.D. and save myself and the State Department a lot of headaches. But it's after 1 a.m. on a weeknight. Surely Bernie's in bed by now. And at that moment, one time zone away in the ramshackle mansion where Bernie Rosenthal and 5 other law students live. Oh, Steve, what have you gotten yourself into this time? When I heard about the hijacking and Flag Smashers' demands, I tried so hard not to worry about you. Then you missed your usual Sunday night phone call to me, and now I read this. Can it be true? Did you really kill someone? You must be so upset. I wish I could talk to you, but other than calling your hotline, there's no way I can. Say, Bernie, saw your door open. You interested in going over the material with me for Friday's test in criminal law? Sure, Paul. I've got to get my mind off Steve. Yeah, and the next day, it'd be easy to join S.H.I.E.L.D. just to get off the hook. Serve for a few weeks, then resign. But I take my commitments very seriously. To serve S.H.I.E.L.D. well, I'd have to quit the Avengers, cancel my hotline network, give up my freedom to fight injustice and tyranny my own way. On the other hand, S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of the free world's staunchest protectors. I used to get a lot of my missions through them. What's this? And he sees the poster for the rally of the Super Patriot. Some sort of patriotic rally. It looks like, yeah, just what I'm in the mood for. And here we are, Central Park. And on the mic. And now it gives me great pleasure to present to you America's brand new Sentinel of Liberty, that valiant defender of democracy, the hero with his finger on the pulse of the 80s, the one, the only, Super Patriot. Yeah, and Cap arrives, Steve, and saying, this isn't what I expected. There's a big picture of me with a red X through it. What's going on here? Who is this Super Patriot character? They've got television crews, video cameras, thousands of people here. All right, and here we go. My fellow Americans, don't you just love this new spirit of patriotism sweeping this great old country of ours? I know I do. When God blessed me with superhuman power, I decided to use it to serve those less fortunate than I. I debated what symbolic identity to assume. My first inclination, as any real Americans would be, was to call myself something patriotic. Then I thought, but Captain America has the patriotic motif all sewn up, doesn't he? But it occurred to me, is Cap the best symbol of America there can be? Heck no. Cap's been around for longer than I've been alive. He's getting old, getting slow, getting out of touch with America. And in the back saying, yeah, what a delivery the man's got. Ethan, my boy, this time you hit pay dirt. That's Super Patriot's manager, Ethan Thurm. Why do you think he's taken to using guns after all these years? Because he just can't cut it with knuckles and know-how anymore. Well, I can. I say it's time Grandpa America retires, and the good old US of A gets itself a new symbol of liberty and justice. Me. Steve thinking here, I've got to admit, his words really cut deep, especially the way he's using the shooting incident to discredit me. But on the other hand, he hasn't uttered a syllable that's not protected by the First Amendment. Then hold it right there, traitor. What in the gunman wearing my mask? And check it out, 3 men wearing Captain America masks. Where in blazes does a young shot like you get off criticizing a living legend? A true hero like Cap. He's done more for this country than anybody, including the president. And if he decides guns are what it takes to defend America, we say right on to that, don't we, boys? Or ain't you heard of the Second Amendment, flat top? Ah, the crowd's panicking. Someone's gonna get hurt if they start to stampede. Gotta push my way through, get to the stage. Man, I promised S.H.I.E.L.D. not to appear in uniform, but if lives are threatened... Just who do you think you are, infringing on my right to free speech? We're the bold, urban commandos, the Buckies. Me and my buddies were so inspired by the way Cap stuck it to those terrorists, we decided to become his deputies. You, jerkface, are a traitor. All loyal Americans support good old Cap. Take him, you guys. And then he pulls out a torch. I think not. And cuts their guns. A true patriot need not cower behind a weapon. A true patriot is a weapon for freedom and peace, as he hits this man with a drop kick. If you people think you're gonna bully boy me out of my right to free speech, hey, you blasted jumping bean, bam. It's time you got a lesson in citizenship. And he just flips him over. Man, he sure has great moves, that boy. And listen to the way he delivers his spiel. The crowd is eating this little exhibition all up. Okay, smart boy, you may have gotten the drop on us once, but this little match ain't over by a long shot. Give it up, men. Your hero's a has-been. You dimbobes probably even think the A on your foreheads stands for Buckies. Laugh while you can, punk. How about if I let my fists do the laughing? Bam, with the uppercut. Nope, I haven't forgotten about you, Mr. Sneak Attack. With a mule kick to the face. And stay down this time, eh? And the cops are here, oh no. Step back, Super Patriot, we can handle it from here. Right on cue, gents. Folks, let's hear it for New York's finest. And then Cap here finally made it to the side of the stage. And it's all over. Doesn't look like anyone was hurt, fortunately. That Super Patriot certainly made a good show of himself. Too good, if you ask me. Taking them away, boys. Yeah, come along. And you've got the right to remain silent. Folks, no need for concern. You're in no danger from Captain America's maniac supporters while I'm around. Now, why don't you all petition your congressman to call for a general election to vote for who you'd rather see as a symbol of our great nation? That crackpot Cap or me? That van, those policemen took those Buckies inside. It's not the standard New York paddy wagon. Something's fishy here, and I aim to find out what it is. And that night at a posh midtown eatery, a smashing show, my boy. I can't get over how well today's exhibition went. Yeah, the guys and I have had a lot of practice, Thermy. And while you were showering, I finally heard from the Statue of Liberty people. They might just be interested in having you participate in the dedication festivities. All right, now you're talking. No, now you're talking. You got a problem, bud? This is a private conversation. Listen up. I know who you are. I know the game you're playing. Dressing up those wrestlers as Buckies and as cops. What I don't know is why you're playing it. So talk to me. Who are you? Guess. I don't know you, and I don't talk to strangers. Ethan, get a waiter to get this guy out of my face before I get riled up. John Walker in a tux. Right. Yeah. This patriotism thing, it's just an act, right? Something to cash in on. An attention-getting gimmick. You're wrong, pal. I love my country. That's why I think it deserves a better symbol than a washed-up old warhorse like... That's it. You're Captain America, right? Being a symbol of liberty and justice is something you have to earn, Super Patriot. It's nothing you can accomplish by cheap theatrics like this afternoon. People could have been hurt. trampled trying to get away from your friend's guns. But nobody was hurt, Captain. Now how about telling me just what you want from me, or else leave me to eat my dinner in peace? I want you to give me your word as an American that you'll never try another publicity stunt that endangers lives, and if you do, I'll find out about it and I'll take you in and expose your little game. You know, Grandpa, I'd really like to see you try that. Tell you what, let's have ourselves a little contest of might. If you win, I'll confess to whatever preposterous thing you think I've done. And if you lose, you'll publicly admit that you were beaten by the Super Patriot and then go to Florida and retire. How about it? Steve here thinking, I have no doubt that I would win, but what would a fight between us really prove? Assuming he'd be true to his word and confess to the police, there'd be precious little they could hold him on. Might damage his reputation though. Well, no fight. Ha, afraid of me, Think what you will, it's a free country. I want to leave you with one final thought. If you want to be a symbol of America, you darn well better be worthy of it. Wow, you pompous yellow-bellied... Man, come back here, I'll show you who... Not here, Johnny. It'll be bad for your image. We'd be paying for the damages for years. I've got a much better idea. Let me get to a phone. You look... See which way he's going. Yeah, that felt good. Hope it accomplished something. And I managed to do it without breaking my promise to S.H.I.E.L.D. about putting on my uniform. Speaking of which, I still haven't made up my mind about their offer. A 1-year stint wouldn't kill me. It might even... What in the... That's him! The Buckies. No time to change clothes even if I wanted to. No time to even take my shield out of my portfolio. And then bam! Clonk. Judging by how rough Super Patriot was treating these boys this afternoon, they're no pushovers. Hold still, fancy pants. Crack! As he punches a hole in the wall. Whoa! He punched a hole in the stone wall. I can't even do that. How strong are these guys anyways? Wham! You ain't half bad at dancing around, Twinkle Toes, but let's see how you stand up to some serious pounding. Man, that was as hard as a punch as I've ever thrown. And that bruiser's still not KO'd. How about let's not? And he dives into them. What you got in there, man? Ton of bricks? Bam! And he hits him again. This is the first time I've ever used my shield in quite this way. I'm getting tired of you swinging that thing around, Spasmo. Spasmo. I'm taking it from you. And then he just flings it in the portfolio right at his gut. You want it? All right, I'll let you have it. My plexus. My plexus. All right, one down, but no time to retrieve my shield. A little judo. Boom. Pal, Ethan didn't tell us who you was, but when he rung us, but there's no twerp in a swish suit is gonna outmuscle unlimited class wrestlers like us. He's almost on me, just gotta time this right. Got him. Alright, and if I play his own momentum against him, alright, he's got him in the neck scissors there with his ankles. Oh man, boys, you just ruined my new suit. Don't go anywhere, I'm calling the police. And you bet I'm gonna press charges. Okay. That way maybe they'll inadvertently implicate Super Patriot in this afternoon's fracas while in stir. I don't thank you, boys. This little free-for-all really got the blood pumping, cleared my head. Now I know what to tell S.H.I.E.L.D. and what to do. Michelle March here, at the Midtown headquarters of the Avengers. The most celebrated member of the team, Captain America, held a press conference this afternoon, his first public appearance since it was learned how he shot a terrorist in Switzerland while rescuing American hostages. My fellow Americans, certain people whom I consider friends have advised me against doing this. They told me to maintain a low profile and let the incident that has gained me so much notoriety lately quiet down. But that's never been the way I do things. I've always tried to be straightforward and honest in my dealings with everyone, especially you, the American people. So today I'd like to tell you about the shooting incident. It's true, I did take the life of that terrorist. I profoundly regret having done so, but at the time I could see no other way to save numerous lives without taking one myself. My attitude towards killing remains unchanged. I believe killing is morally wrong, and that my actions should not be condoned or sanctioned by anyone. I'm willing to go to Switzerland and stand trial for what I did, if the Swiss authorities so desire. I'm also willing to accept any penalties or restrictions our government may see fit to impose. What I ask of you is that you understand that I do not take this lightly in terms of what I did, nor do I advocate murder as the solution to any problem. I also ask that you forgive me for letting you down. Since becoming Captain America, I've done my best to live up to the ideals our nation embodies. I like to think I've done a pretty good job at it too, but I am only human, and even I can fall far short of my ideals at times. But what I think is more important than how often you succeed at something is how hard you strive for it. I may not always succeed at being the example of all that's good in America, but I promise you I will never stop trying. And you see, Mr. Walker, the Super Patriot, watching television. Well, I'll be. When I heard he was having a press conference, I was sure it was going to be to denounce me, but he hasn't even mentioned me. You gotta hand it to his PR man, he sure has been well coached. Let him bask in the spotlight today. There's gonna come a reckoning, and I'll prove to the world that I'd make a better symbol of America than him, whether Grandpa America likes it or not. Few issues later, Captain America 327 with this classic cover. Super Patriot doing battle with Captain America with his torch clashing against his shield. And this issue, just a few after 323, begins as such. Your kind makes me sick. We saw the Buckies before and they're back. You traitorous foreign lowlife. I'm wise to you. You pose as students, but you're actually here to spy for Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi. Oh man, I'm not Libyan, I'm Algerian. Come on. Libyan, Algerian, Iranian, it's all the same. You're all out to do America dirty. And this is one proud American who ain't gonna stand for it. Yo, Lamar, leave him be. We need someone to give the rest of them the message. You're lucky, Camel. I'm gonna bleep that. Lamar. Yeah, we'll see later who Lamar is. Now, Guan, run back to your fellow traitors. Tell them if they don't get their butts out of our ever-loving country, we're gonna make them real sorry. Yeah, roughing up a bunch of un-American slime balls sure does my patriotic heart good. Is Hector all set to boogie? Yeah, he's just finishing up out front. Then Hector with the spray can. Whoops, can't forget the sign. Hey, foreign has 2 R's in it, don't it? No, you knucklehead, 1 R and a G somewhere. Does? Do I have to buy you guys a dictionary or what? Stand back, I'm flicking my Zippo. All right, ain't that a pretty sight? Yeah, except you spelt it wrong. Get out of here, I used the American spelling. Here come the campus Gaddafis to admire our work. All traitors beware, the Buckies. That's short for bold urban commandos. Hey, somebody stop them, hey, stop them. I call campus police. You're not getting away with this, you guys. several blocks away. And there's the boss's limo waiting as usual. Get in, I hear sirens. Hey, how'd it go, boys? Without a hitch, Super Patriot. Yeah, good. Have a beer. Have an old Milwaukee beer. Good American beer. Step on it, Candy. Yes, sir. Hey, boss, you really ought to come with us on one of our campus capers. You'd have a ball putting the fear of the flag in some of those pencil necks. You know I'd like to, Jake. But my agent hasn't finished the market research yet to see if our anti-terrorist crusade would be good for my image. My gut feeling tells me that the public goes for the strong arm stuff. Look at all the support that old FUD Captain America got when he off that terrorist. But till I know for sure, we'll keep on letting the public think our boys are the captain's cohorts, not mine. All right? Yeah, whatever you say, Soup. Whatever you say. Meanwhile, on the other side of the campus. Well, I guess this is the place. Strange, I felt less trepidation approaching the Red Skull's house last Halloween than I do now. I guess Captain America's better at facing physical peril than Steve Rogers is at facing emotional uncertainty. Man, what do I have to be afraid of? That she's totally changed into some person to whom I can no longer relate? That she stopped loving me, or that I've changed and... Steve, you made it! Bernie, is that you? In the flesh, handsome. What happened to your hair? That's never a good thing to tell somebody, by the way. What happened to your hair? Uh-oh. I thought I told you on the phone. It got in the way of my studying. Now come inside. I want you to see my room. Meet my crazy housemates. All charter members of the future Shyster Society. Okay. Yeah, Bernie's spunk and sense of humor certainly haven't changed. Alright, she wants to be a lawyer. Alright, Suzanne, Paul, this is Steve, the guy I told you so much about. Yeah, the comic book artist from Brooklyn. Yeah, hello. Yeah, Steve Rogers was an employee of Marvel Comics at this time. He was drawing Captain America comics. Weird. Okay. So what do you think of the place? A real regression from my own apartment back in the Heights, huh? No, you've made it very homey. Close the door. I've got to show you my stash. Your what? What? My clip file about you, Steve. You don't make the headlines here in the Midwest, but I still snip any item I see. The only way I can keep up with your life sometimes. I try to call you every Sunday night, Bernie, but, well, sometimes I can't get to... shush, Steve. I know how busy you must be. Just hold me close, okay? All right. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, Bernie, sorry to disturb, but I just heard something weird's going down on campus. Someone set the lawn of the International House on fire. You and Steve want to go go with us to check it out? No, Paul. Well, why don't you go with him, Bernie? What? Believe it or not, lawn burnings is one of the reasons I'm in the Midwest right now. I'll tell you about it later. Make some excuse for me to your roomies. I want to check it out my own way. I get you. Yeah, okay. I'll go with you, Paul. Steve wants to stay here and rest. Long drive, you know. Yeah, whatever. We're taking Sue's car. Bernie's old beau sure is an odd duck. Built like a Russian weightlifter and draws kitty cartoons for a living. What does she see in him beside his Robert Redford looks? This guy's a hater, man. All right. Minutes later. Good. Everyone's gone. Now to sprint for my mobile HQ. Play quick change artist and out the back on his motorcycle. This wasn't hard to find. Hey, look. Is this some kind of joke? Stay behind the barricades. Excuse me, sir, I'm Captain America, and I've been following the trail of these lawn-burning crackpots across the country, and, hi, yeah, go see the officer on the porch. Is he for real? Yep. That's him. That's the man who hurt my friends and started the fire. What, huh? How dare he come back here for us, to mock us? What's everyone talking about? Captain America isn't responsible for this. Don't they know any better? What else would that walking flag be doing in Madtown? By the way, they're in Madison, Wisconsin. Madtown, all right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you'd come inside, Captain, maybe we'd be able to hear ourselves talk. Yeah, Cap, go home. Rambo off campus. Up with Cap. Deport all spies. A lot of talk out there from the crowd. Settle down, son. Settle down. Now, are you certain that it was Captain America here who assaulted you and your friends? No, I wasn't. It was a black man. It was a black guy. It's a black guy. But he was wearing the same mask. He had 2 or 3 men with him. White, I think. They call themselves the Bucky's officer. Bold urban commandos. They've been committing various unlawful acts across the country, trying to give patriotism a black eye. I've followed their trail here. I'd be happy to provide you with all the information I've been able to gather. Okay, but if you think we're letting you in on a police investigation, mister, that's not how we do things around here in Madison, Wisconsin. I see. Yeah, I guess being an Avenger is no guarantee I'll get the keys to the city everywhere I go. What's this? Filthy liars, we're not spies. Hey, Cap, save me from these pigs. They're abridging my right to free speech. I agree with you, man. Send these traitors packing. What? These onlookers are convinced I had something to do with this, and worse, some of them support the lawn burnings and strong-arm tactics. Ugh. I should have expected this. Some brave soul expressed his opinion of me on my bike. Yeah, I saw the guys who did it, Cap. Come on, I'll take you to them and you can stomp them. Love how you stuck it to those terrorists, Captain. All right, make us proud, Captain. Where are you going? Going to pick on more defenseless students, big man? Don't listen to this lunatic fringe, Cap. You're all right, Cap. The cacophony of voices. All right? But he's just out of here. Minutes later. Steve, where were you, man? Yeah, it turned out I couldn't relax. I went for a walk. Trying to find you guys. Guess I got a bit lost. Well, come on in. You're just in time for my nightly battle of wits with Bernie. Tonight's debate topic. Did Captain America vote for Ronald Reagan? I believe that he did. I see Captain as a staunch Republican type with a militant conservative streak down his back about a mile wide. Bernie seems to think that since he became Cap during FDR's presidency... Oh, enough with your nightly claptrap, Paul. You never admit it when I'm right anyway. I'd rather spend my evening catching up with Steve. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna let up on this topic until we've thoroughly thrashed it out, Bernie. Yeah, I know. Steve, you thought our Brooklyn neighbors were characters. They're not half as bad as Paul and his cronies. So what was all that about tonight, Steve? Like you were expecting it to happen? Yeah, though I wasn't sure it would be here. It's some kind of strange smear campaign. 3 men wearing custom versions of my uniform are going around pulling off stunts to make me seem like a reactionary bigot. Well, who are they? Why are they doing it? They work with this guy who calls himself Super Patriot. And Super Patriot! I was just reading something about him. Wait, where was it? Time? Newsweek? No, it's here in Rolling Stone. Yeah, rock and roll patriotism. I think Super Patriot's one of the guests at the Americade concert this weekend in Milwaukee. Yeah, any way to still get tickets? Yeah, I doubt it. They're very hot items. Scalpers, maybe? Wait, I know who can help me. My hotline boys. Guess your big investment's really paying off. Best way I could have spent my unexpected $1 million windfall. Washington, D.C. the next day. Now this is curious. This tax return was so unusual the computer spit it out. Aha, no wonder. This man reported an income of $37,000 last year and $1,037,000 this year. Further, that million was given him by the federal government. Who is this guy? CIA maybe? Stephen G. Rogers. No one I'm familiar with. I better take this file to the head auditor. Oh, Lord. Okay. Unaware of this special interest in his tax return, Steve Rogers acquires tickets to the Americade concert from one of the members of his nationwide volunteer hotline network. That weekend, he and Bernie joined the thousands of others attending this charity rock concert to aid the nation's homeless. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Little Willie Nelson going on. And Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen and Mick Jagger and so on and so. What? No talking heads? Maybe I can get our money back, Bern. Silly. All right. He likes talking heads. All right. More music. Bring on Springsteen and on stage. Where's Madonna? Run DMC. They want to Run DMC all up in here. All right. Thank all of you for showing up here this afternoon, and particularly thank you for showing all the cynics who thought that helping the world's needy was just a fad, that they're wrong. As long as there's poverty and hunger anywhere in this great old nation of ours, we'll be there, you and me, and we'll each do our part to, and so on and so on and so forth. And then backstage, I'm not certain I understand the significance of your wearing a mask, Mr. Super Patriot. If you represent freedom and liberty, then isn't proclaiming your identity an act of freedom? Yeah, what a batty broad. You missed the point, Joan. With my face showing, I'm an individual. Masked, I'm a symbol. A symbol of the patriotic spirit that unites all the individuals in this, the greatest country on God's earth, America. But doesn't America already have a living symbol of liberty and justice for all? What, you mean that hoary old has-been, Captain America? He's hardly fit to be a symbol of the social security. Excuse me, Super Patriot. Willie's almost through his set. I wanted you to go while the Heartbreakers were setting up. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't you used to sing If I Had a Hammer? No, that was Peter, Paul, and Mary. Yeah, I've got to see someone. And I think that's Joan Baez, I guess. I don't know. Yep, I can stretch out my rap as long as you need. I have a way of working a crowd. Great. Marvelous. Hi, Americans. Yeah, I call myself the Super Patriot. And just like each and every one of you here, I love this supercharged country of ours. After all, America invented rock and roll. And that's what we're all here for today, isn't it? To share the spirit, the pride, the fun. But let's not forget the other reason why we're here. We're here to support the farmers, the factory workers, the families who can't party with us because there's no food on the table or roofs over their heads. Boy, Steve, that Super Patriot really has the audience eating out of his hand. I think he panders a bit much, but he sure has charisma. You say he's the baddie? Seems that way. I'm going to go backstage, have a word with him. Meet you at the van at 7 o'clock. I'll bet backstage passes are impossible to come by for civilians. But Captain America has a way of making doors open. Usually. Hello, sir. I'm Captain America. This is my Avengers ID card. I'd like to see Super Patriot. Yeah, buddy of his, huh? Well, you don't look like the groupie type to me, so go on in, Cap. Wow, it's like the who's who of pop music back here. Thanks to Bernie broadening my musical tastes while we were an item, I actually recognize most of these musicians. Look at that. That's Tina Turner there. And clearly that's Prince in the foreground. I'm not sure about the others here, but yeah. Tina Turner was everywhere around this time. Y'all don't even realize, man. Good Lord. Super Patriot wrangling his way into this trendy crowd is a real PR coup. His managers must have good connect. Ah, there he is. Great rap, Soup. I'd like to speak to you, Super. Ah, it's him. Let me handle this, boys. What a great surprise, Grandpa America. I think you're at the wrong place, Gramps. The Lawrence Welk concert's on the other side of town. Save the witticism, Super. What I have to say is serious. Okay, old timer, serious it is. Let's go someplace a bit more private. Incidentally, I'm glad you had the nerve to wear your uniform this time. That suit you were wearing the first time we met, pretty silly looking. Let me get straight to the point, Super. I know that it's your 3 bully boys who've been doing the campus lawn burnings and the scare tactics on foreigners. My, oh my, such accusations. You know what I'm talking about. Okay? You know they're all on your payroll. Last time we spoke, I told you I would blow the whistle on your operation if I found you had stepped out of line again. You just did. I had nothing to do with those things you accused me of, Grandpa. And I know you can't possibly prove I did. So what are you going to do about that? He's trying to bait me, provoke a fight between us. Sure is tempting. I'd love to wipe that obnoxious smirk right off his face. But he's right. I don't have hard evidence on him. Yet. And a fight would prove nothing. The offer I made you last time still stands. If you beat me in battle, I'll confess to any old thing you want. I'll even say I put the crack in the Liberty Bell. Hey, where are you going, Grandpa? Supper time at your rest home? Con men, hoodlums, frauds. They all slip up eventually, and I'm gonna be there when you do. Count on it. Yeah, he's not punking out on me this time. I mean to prove my superiority over him right here and now. News bulletin, Grandpa. The national bird is the eagle, not the chicken. Maybe it's time somebody taught the tough old hen a lesson. Heard him pounce just in the nick. Clang on his shield. I wouldn't pick a fight with a guy just because he's a jerk. But by God, I'm not. Now that he started it, I'm not gonna just back down. Yeah, sneak attacks. Rather un-American, wouldn't you say? Oh yeah, how about the bombing of Libya? He's fast with that torch sword of his, but he's kidding himself if he thinks I'm gonna let him get near me with it. Nice to see you practicing your jig, Gramps. As he cuts through this car. But the jig is, bang in the back of his head. Ordinarily, I'd never risk striking someone with the edge of my shield. But from what I've seen of this Joker in action, he's made of pretty stern stuff. Fancy schmancy, Grandpa. You actually got me seeing stars. Now how about if I decorate you with a couple of bloody stripes? No. How about if you dispense with your lame witticisms? They're almost as funny as your commitment to the ideals of America. Whoa, how dare you insinuate that I'm less committed to the ideals of America than you? Ha! Trouble with you, Grandpa, is your concept of America and her ideals is as dated and obsolete as you are. Clang! You're out of step with America. You don't know what makes this country tick and the people tick anymore. Boom, as he cuts through this car. America's ideals are timeless, Super. Liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness never go out of style, as he throws his shield, knocking his torch out of his hand. And also smashing the back of this car window. Lost my shield in the process, but at least I disarmed him. And hits him with a really, really solid left. Don't tell me that was your best punch, Grandpa. That was about as wussy as your attempt to dazzle me with your keen insights into America. That was a good punch. Closer, Super, just a bit more. And a monkey flip. He's got the monkey flip, got him off balance, flings him into this car. How many cars have gotten destroyed in this fight? Such an old trick, Gramps. I was so shocked that anyone would try something so unimaginative. I actually fell for it. He's tougher than I thought. He totaled that car and got up without a scratch. He cut me off before I could recover my shield too. Just what will it take to beat this guy? Just have to keep hammering away at him. And not let him lay a glove on me. And pray he runs out of steam before I do. Look at this, man, back and forth. but Steve Rogers getting the best of him. Oh, my knuckles. Feel like I've been smashing them against a brick wall a couple dozen times. Can't quite close my fist. They're so swollen. But at least it looks like the super is down for the count. Now the question is, what do I do with him? Will he make good on his promise to... Now that I fooled you by the oldest trick in the book, Gramps, playing possum. It'll take more than you've got to knock me out. What's gotten into me? I never underestimate my opponents this badly. In my line of work, I can't afford to ever have an off day. Better not let him know I can't make a fist. For 27 more minutes, Captain America and the Super Patriot battled. The Patriot never quite being able to land a blow on Cap. Cap never quite being able to smash the Patriot hard enough to keep him down. Look at Cap leaning on a car here. Unbelievable. I've never fought such a protracted one-on-one fight before. I'm beginning to wonder if I can win this one. Had enough yet, Gramps? I have. You're a sprightly old rascal, and I'd love to stay here and demolish a couple more dozen cars with you, but I've got to run. And he pulls out some ninja stars, man, some shuriken. I just heard Springsteen come on stage, and I really want to see him play. But just so you don't think I care, here's something to remember me by. Throwing stars, gotta dodge. One right in his chest. Oh man, I must be tired. One hit me, embedded into my chainmail shirt. Bullseye, haha. Guess that makes me the winner of this little match. What do you say, Gramps? I believe these are yours. Haha, you do have spunk. For a loser. For a loser. Really, Gramps, I'd love to stick around and finish you off. But I can do that anytime. On the other hand, how often will I get to hear the boss, Springsteen, perform from 10 feet away? Ciao, loser. Did I really lose that fight? No, it was a draw. Neither one of us was down. But I can't remember ever coming so close to losing or ever being so relieved that a fight was over. I feel lousy. Steve, what happened? How did your talk with the Super Patriot go? He came on right after Springsteen with another patriotic spiel. He picked a fight with me. We almost fought for an hour. I couldn't beat him. Strength, stamina, superior to mine. Fighting skill, the will to win, perhaps equal. I just couldn't win. Geez, Steve, I haven't seen you this down in the dumps since Nomad left. You want to talk about it some more? No. Okay. Gee, I wasn't expecting Steve to get this bummed out this weekend. All his tooling around the country by himself with no one to talk to. It's really taken its toll. Guess this won't be a good weekend to have that heart-to-heart, that talk that I was hoping to have with him. To tell him that I think it would be best for both of us if we broke off our engagement. Oh no. Oh no. Sunday night, back in Washington, D.C. The head auditor said he'd inquire into the matter, but I know how overburdened he is. I had the distinct impression he wouldn't mind if I followed through on my investigation myself. And that's what I've done. Spent the whole weekend glued to this terminal, researching the name on this particular tax return. I just know it's got to be in one of these government personnel files. Going all the way back through recently declassified World War II documents is a bit of a long shot, but my word, that name, Stephen G. Rogers, it's here. Says he's the man who volunteered for the Operation Rebirth, the project that created Captain America. That means he must be. So what do I do with this tidbit of information now that I have it, pray tell? Steve Rogers in big trouble in this issue. Not only from the Super Patriot, John Walker, but the government. You know, and the events of these two issues involving his conflict with the Super Patriot, inevitably leads to more disaster. And, in Captain America 332, it is Captain America no more. Steve Rogers steps down as Cap. And then the search for a new Captain America yields interesting results as John Walker himself, the former Super Patriot, and Lamar Hoskins, one of the Buckies that we saw in these issues tonight, becomes the new Bucky in Captain America 334. This is one of the greatest storylines in Captain America, and I say in Marvel Comics history. And what does it mean to have the title of Captain America? These issues were from 1986. We're in 2026. Eerily familiar, like a time loop of some kind. Deja vu, man. Interesting stuff. But we're going to investigate further into this epic storyline involving John Walker as Captain America. Stay tuned for more. This is the Pop Culture Cosmonaut, man. How about you? Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share this with your people, man. And long live the retro comics revolution.